The double cab bakkie segment represents one of the most popular and most competitive new vehicle arenas in South Africa. Volkswagen's new Amarok range topper has caused quite a stir and created some controversy too. When Volkswagen announced the addition of a V6 flagship model to its Amarok range, there was a collective sigh of relief from the bigger is better brigade. However, this vehicle is only offered, for now, with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and that means that it doesn't offer a low-range option. Which begs the question whether this new V6 Amarok can actually tackle real off-road obstacles. We joined 4x4 expert and Amarok specialist Andre de Villiers at his dedicated test track east of Pretoria and asked him what he thought of criticisms that the Amarok V6 should be considered a soft off-roader due to its lack of a low-range transfer case.
I think it's new technology from Germany that we need to get used to. There is no low range in the Auto Amarok. You do get the manual version with a low range, but due to the technology inside the gearbox and the torque converter of this vehicle and the fact that it's got 8 speeds, 8 gears forward, your first gear is a lower gear than a normal first gear high range vehicle. So this vehicle is capable of climbing with a full 1-ton payload at the back, complete 35-degree incline. That means I can go up the incline, stop there with a 1-ton payload and pull away. Now without a 1-ton payload I can do 41 degrees incline. Now what more than that would you like on a normal 4x4?
But how does the Amarok manage to achieve that without the benefit of low range?
It is the first gear that is lower than the normal first gear, plus then the gearbox and the driveline configuration, as well as a torque converter of which the oil pump is sitting on the outside that has got a lock-up function of 1,200 RPM.
The Amarok is certainly advanced from a technology perspective, with several systems not usually associated with 4x4 double cabs. Tell us more about those.
There's quite a lot, what we call under-skin engineering that you don't find in other vehicles because you only look at the outside and this vehicle is looking great. That one, no, it's looking soft, and I'd rather go climb in this car that's looking bulky. But when you go underneath the vehicle with our new technology, computers nowadays, there's a lot of functions inside the vehicle. Like this Amarok has got an anti-roll system in, it's got a on-road electronic stability program for high speed. Then you can change that to an off-road electronic stability program. Then this vehicle has been equipped with the EDL electronic diff lock on the front axle as well as on the rear axle that will kick in for the drivers that don't understand in what type of situation they are. Then the vehicle will change up to 60 kilometers per hour and select the diff locks on your behalf. Then you've got a normal electromagnetic rear diff lock, not like the normal pneumatic plunger, and that you can select up to 40 kilometers per hour in an obstacle. That makes it totally more advanced than the rest of the pack.
How important is having 165 kilowatt of power on tap really?
4x4, it's not about speed, it's not about power, it's about low down torque. Now this V6 with 550 Newton meters on the diesel with low down torque, absolutely stunning. But nothing wrong with a 2-litre and a 2.2 and a 2.5 like all the other vehicles in 4x4, as long as you've got low down torque, because I don't want the revolutions to go up more than 2,000 RPM unless I'm in a sand condition like a Namib desert. But when I'm driving normal 4x4 obstacles, it's all about traction. And how slow can I do that? So the saying is as slow as possible, as fast as necessary in 4x4. So I don't need the 165 kilowatt. But then it becomes what is the other abilities of the vehicle when it comes to suspension movement and electronics to help you when the one wheel loses traction. How is the power going to be distributed between the 4 wheels to get you up that obstacle when there's only 1 or 2 vehicles that got good traction?
So, coming back to the original question, is the fact that the Amarok V6 does without low range not a handicap in overall 4x4 capability?
Definitely not. Maybe in an obstacle grading 5 or grading 4 obstacle, I would maybe prefer to have a low range. But that is some serious stuff where 99% of the people never go to. And then again, the Amarok Auto can do that. Definitely. It just may be a little bit more skills that you need from behind the steering wheel to be able to do that obstacle, whereby another vehicle with low range will maybe do it a little bit more easier.
You could call the new Volkswagen Amarok V6 TDI a new age 4x4 double cab. It's more leisure vehicle than utility 4x4, and it is so sophisticated that it can intimidate more traditional bakkie lovers. But having said that, it's also a lot more proficient than you'd think in real 4x4 conditions, as we've shown. In fact, if you understand its electronic systems and if you have the skills, this vehicle will go places that you would never ever expect. Our time on the test track underlined in no uncertain terms that the Amarok V6 is no slouch when it comes to tackling 4x4 obstacles, and that in these conditions the electronic systems make up for the absence of a low-range gearbox. But it's also true that 4x4 driving skills are an equally important part of the overall off-road package. A muscular V6 turbo diesel makes this flagship Amarok South Africa's most powerful 4x4 double cab, at least for now, ensuring distinctly sporty performance in on-road conditions. But advanced technology also endows this bakkie with better than expected off-road talent, while the interior is both modern and comfortable. However, this level of sophistication does come at a price.